Welcome back to Original Greatness. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for tuning in. Did you know that in 2021, a report was released out of Washington, D.C. about a rising threat to people's financial health here in the United States? What was revealed from that data collected over 12 months was that 1 out of 10 people have been a victim of identity theft, with some victims as young as 16 years old. These crimes included bank account and credit card fraud with an average of $650 in losses. And if a new account was opened in someone's name, it had an average loss of $3,400. Now remember, this was back in 2021. Scammers have gotten a lot more creative when it comes to gaining access to our information. And with inflation and driving up prices, I'd be willing to bet that all of these numbers are a lot higher now. If you don't have credit, or if your credit is already bad, this probably won't be an issue for you. Why is that? I'm glad you asked. Because you don't have an identity worth stealing. If you can't get approved for credit in your own name, chances are a scammer won't be able to get anything in your name either. So what you need to be working on is establishing and or building your credit up. But before you do that, I want you to think about it like this. Try to remember what you saw at a construction site where a structure was being built. There's something that's always part of a project that you've probably overlooked. And that's creating some type of barrier of protection to keep things out and to keep things in the construction site. Now think about putting all this work into building your credit up with no protection around it. Scammers going to want to get access to your information once you have an identity worth stealing. And the last thing you want to do is to make it easy for them. That's why you're going to put a barrier around your credit report using a credit freeze. How does it work? It stops lenders from being able to access a credit report to see if a borrower qualifies for a new line of credit. When someone applies for credit after proving their identity, even the scammers, the lender runs a credit check with at least one of the 3 credit bureaus. If the lender can't run a credit check, chances are the line of credit won't be approved. If you have a credit freeze active with the credit bureau that gets an inquiry from a lender, they'll deny them access and notify you. If it wasn't you, then you know it's likely that someone's attempting to use your identity and you just prevented the problem from getting worse. How much does it cost? Here's the best part. It's free, and it could cost you not to do it if something happens and you could have prevented it. Then the time it takes you to create an account with each bureau and get it set up. Now remember, there's 3 credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Now let's go to the Equifax website and create an account. Here we are on the Equifax website. The website is up here, equifax.com. Click log in. You don't have an account, so click choose my plan. At your leisure, you can go over these and read these different plans, but you can get the credit freeze by just creating a free account, and I'm gonna do that for this example. So I'm gonna click get started. It's gonna ask you for your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your social security number, and your mobile phone number. I'm gonna fill this out, and then I'll show you the next steps. After you enter your personal information, scroll down, and it asks you for your current address. After you enter that, click continue. Now it's going to ask you for your email address and to create a password. I make this mistake all the time. Make sure you read what you can and can't use for your password and special characters, because you'll be all day trying to figure out why it won't accept your password. So make sure you read that. I'm about to create a password and enter my email address. After you enter your email and create a password, when you scroll down, it has a terms of use section. Read it and then click I accept. And if you don't read it, I won't tell nobody. The next step is to verify your identity, and they ask you for the option to send you a text message to the mobile phone number you entered in the personal information section. Data rates and message rates may apply, and to get your identity verified, go ahead and click yes, send me a text. Enter the verification code from the text message you received to verify your identity, and click continue. To complete the confirmation, click View My Product. All right, now your account is all set up. Now I'm gonna show you how to freeze your account. On the left-hand side, scroll down, and under your identity, there'll be an option that says freeze. Click that. Another name for credit freeze is security freeze. So if you log on to one of the 3 credit bureaus to create a freeze, it could be either name. It could say credit freeze or it'll say security freeze. So here on Equifax, it says security freeze. And as you see, we do not have a freeze on this account. So all we have to do is click place a freeze. And then it explains it to you. It says, you're about to place a security freeze on your Equifax credit report. Before you submit your request, here's what you need to know. Placing a freeze is free. A freeze helps prevent access to your credit report with certain exceptions. A freeze will be placed on your Equifax credit report only. To place a freeze on your Experian and TransUnion credit reports, you need to contact them directly. And then click place a freeze. Now you're all set with the credit freeze on your Equifax credit report. So if a lender runs your credit trying to access your credit report from Equifax, they will not allow them to do it, and they'll notify you that somebody was trying to run your credit. And if it wasn't you, chances are you've been a victim of identity theft. The disclaimer that they gave you about having a few exceptions about accessing your credit report, if you have a credit monitoring subscription, they can still access your credit report because they're not opening up a line of credit. But you can read the disclaimer to get more details about that at your leisure. They also explain to you here that you still need to go to the other 2 credit bureaus, which is Experian and TransUnion, in order to make sure you're completely protected from allowing people to access your credit report. So you need to go on these other 2 websites to place a freeze the same way we did it on Equifax. Now, to remove a freeze, all you have to do is log back into your Equifax account, go back to the section where it says freeze, and now in that same section at the top, you click manage a freeze. And now they give you the option. Do you want to temporarily lift the security freeze, or do you want to permanently remove the security freeze? Click your option and click continue. And then they explain it to you again that removing your freeze is free. Once the freeze is removed, your Equifax credit report can be accessed for the purposes of extended credit. Removing a freeze will only apply to your Equifax credit report. To remove a freeze from your Experian and TransUnion credit reports, you need to contact them directly. And then you click remove freeze. It's just that simple. Now let's go back to the dashboard and check to see under freeze if it's been removed. There you go. It's just that simple. All right, guys, I hope you found this information useful. And if you have any questions or feedback, leave it below. As we bring this episode to a close, I want you to remember that the school system does not have a monopoly on education, and being educated and informed is your own responsibility. Again, I appreciate you for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and a comment because I love to hear from you. Take care and God bless.